Hey, what's up? This is your girl Diamond. I am the executive director of Black Trans Women's Inc., and I am also the host and creator of Marsha's Plate podcast. All that stuff is linked in the bottom. Today, we are going to talk about Passing, the movie on Netflix. I thought it would be an interesting conversation hosted by a trans person because of the related social context. Not that I think it's the same thing, but it's interesting to talk about it from that perspective. Mm. Hey, Joelle. How are you? We go live every Friday at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. I went live last night too, just because I was bored. But the scheduled time is Friday at 7. Um, how is everybody doing? We will get started in about 10 or 15 minutes once we greet everybody. Mm-mm-mm-mm. I have had a pretty uneventful week. Did you enjoy it? Hey, Brandon. I'm trying these new flavors. Oh no, they be. What I didn't read and pay attention to was that they were energy, and these motherfuckers definitely give you energy because when I drink them, they make me not want to go to sleep for hours and hours. I stayed up to like 5 in the morning the other day. Mm. I was like, damn, these strong. I have thoughts. Can't wait to hear what you have to say about it. Yes, 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 yes. Have you seen this movie called Secret Society? I might have. I don't recognize it by name, but I've seen a lot of movies. Hmm. I know I didn't warn everybody about this movie, but this movie has been popping. I hope y'all watched it. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Hey Nehemiah, how are you? Hey Ty, watched it 3 times back to back. I know that's right. It's about two trans women. Oh, okay, Secret Society. I have to check it out. I think I've heard about it, but I don't think I watched it. Um, Back to back lives. Yeah, Randito, I usually go live on Friday, but sometimes I go live other days when I'm chilling at home bored. Um, is anybody in the chat from Washington D.C. or that area, like that D.C. area, the DMV? If you are from that area, where are some good spots to go eat? Because I am going to a conference there at the end of the month, and I don't know any good like spots to eat at. I really enjoyed it, Brandon. Yes, Nat. Is that how you say Natsum? I am doing quite well. Everything is good on my end. Who else is in here? Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Any good stuff going on in your life? Oh, since everybody saw it, I expect y'all to be participating. Hey, Coco. I'm not from DC, but I live just outside in Silver Springs. People, if not from DC, consider all that shit DC. Because when I hear Silver Springs, I think DC just because of their proximity. I know people from that area don't think it's all the same thing. My lips are feeling ashy. I'm going to put a little lip gloss on them. I finally got an idea for a nonfiction book I want to write. It'll be a mix of Congo history, culture, futurism, and science fiction. Come on. Come on, Octavia Butler in the making. A new Octavia Butler. Sounds like a great idea. Come on, pop banging energy. Hello, Vaughn. Every time I hear the name Vaughn, I think of your family tie. Von Seal. Von Seal. I think anytime I just see Von in anything. Von Seal. No, that's why I made the distinction. DC natives will tell you fast, but it's all the same. I was literally 10 minutes from DC. Right. That sounds real interesting. Yeah, that sounds like fiction. Fiction, fiction. Darlings. Oh. Mm-hmm. Van Seal. Who is B. Smith? Do I know them? How is it without the dog? The dog is still here. Raven. Raven. Come here, Raven. Come here. Come here. Over here. Hey. Say hey, baby. Say hi. Say hi to the camera. The dog has not went anywhere. Um, I just when I need to travel, I take him to the animal shelter, and my brother pays for the boarding since he hasn't came and got him yet. Hey Tony, how are you? I was supposed to have an interview with a major news organization today, but they literally did a no call, no show. Ooh, eek. Trying to move back east. Hey Ray, how are you? Ah, but I'm sure since my brother is gonna be having to pay for this boarding that ain't cheap, he gonna be coming to get him soon. Yes. Hey nephew, doing good. Yes, he was supposed to be picked up. He was supposed to be picked up October the 17th. It is November the what, 12th or 11th? 12th? Yes. November the 12th. So yes, he was luckily for my filming of the documentary, I was able to take him to the hotel and stay at the hotel with me. Um and luckily he is a well trained dog that can hold it for a really, really long time. Because we were doing like 12-hour shoots. And so I had to be there at 6:30 and we didn't get back to the hotel till like 6:30 if we didn't go like to eat after that, all that kind of stuff. So yeah. But he held it and I was able to keep him at the hotel. So that was that trip. But then when I went to San Francisco, I had to get him boarded. Um and so yeah, my brother's paying for it. So until he's tired of paying for it, he'll figure out a way to come get him. I love the top. Looks so comfy. Yes, I got this top from where did I get this? Macy's. It is it kind of I've had it pulled down, but when you have it on like with jeans, it shows your stomach, a little sliver of your stomach. And so a little crop toppy a little bit. I know it looks long, but it's actually when I stand up and have it where it's like where it's supposed to be, it shows a little bit of your stomach. But it is comfortable. And yeah, I got it from Macy's. It was about $25. Um I had an interview in August and they just emailed me back last week. These companies are ghetto. The ghetto. I have received any responses and emails asking what's going on yet. Wow. What was the interview supposed to be about? We'll get started in about 2 minutes. Child, no, Raven can't stay with me, darling. I don't want any pets. I love Raven. Raven is so sweet, but I just don't. I'm realizing that they are an expense. When it'll be the expense to feed them and keep them. That's not a problem. It's the boarding them. It's the getting somebody to keep them when you travel. And at this point, I travel too much to have a pet. Which when I had Dexter, I didn't understand why. Oh, yeah, duh. My brain just not working. At first, I was like, why wasn't Dexter such a problem with traveling when I was a fucking traveling hoe? That's because my brother was staying with me, so he would keep. Dexter could stay home. I didn't have to take Dexter with me at all. And then when I was in Mississippi, Dexter would stay with my family. So I didn't need anybody to keep him. But now that you know, when I was in, and then when I had Dexter in Houston, when I had Dexter in Houston, Keenan would keep them. So yeah, I had people to keep them. Yeah, and then when I had Oreo, which is another dog that I had in my house, in my apartment when I was on by Walmart, I had the good thing about that apartment is that there was like 7-foot walls around the patio. And so I didn't have to take my dog with me. I could just leave my door open. And so he can come in and out. And he could come in and out and eat. And I had one of them things that let food out at a certain time. So he would eat, go in the house, and he could go outside in the patio and use the bathroom in the patio. Will Dexter have a chapter in the book? No, Dexter is my dog. He will not have a chapter in the book. Dogs are expensive. My brother has to get eye surgery. 2000 for the dog eyes. Oh, yeah. Ooh, 2000. That's a lot. But they're so worth it. Dogs are so sweet and nice and they're so loving. Hey, Diamond, what I missed? You have not missed anything. We're going to start actually in a few seconds. But yeah, Dexter won't have anything in my book. I don't even the area of time that my book is covering is not when I had Dexter. The area of time that my book is covering is actually from birth to like 20. Poindexter was the yes, was the sweetest puppy ever. He was. He was the best dog ever. That's why it has taken me so long to get a new one because when he died, that was a traumatic situation. Hmm. But all right, so let's talk about passing. Let's talk about passing. Passing, 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 passing. Yeah. Mm, 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 mm. Let's see. All right, so the show is called Passing and it is on Netflix. It is directed and written by Rebecca Hall, and it is an adaptation of Nella Larson's 1929 novella called Passing. And it is set in that beautiful time, like in the 1920s. Um, and the two main characters is Irene and Claire. Irene is played by Tessa Thompson, and Claire is played by Ruth Nega. I think that's how you say her last name. I don't want to say nigga like, but I think it's Ruth Nega. Um, it starts off, and they are from the South, and they are now living in where are they living? I can't remember the exact location that they're living, but it's some kind of up north city. Um, is it Harlem? I can't remember exactly where they are living at. It's some kind of up north city. They from the South and they cityfied. um, and the whole premise is about passing for white. And when the movie starts off, you see Irene, which is Tessa Thompson's character, um, in a grocery store and restaurant, and it's Harlem. Yes, I think it's Harlem. Yeah, I not yeah Harlem. Um, And y'all know in Harlem, this is like the boom time of Harlem. Like it's like this is when Harlem is becoming or is in the heyday of Harlem. Like when Harlem was Harlem that we romanticize now with Langston Hughes and the artists and the jazz and the music and all the artistry that was happening with Black folks in that era. It was the cool spot. It was the spot that was creating culture, and it was the spot that was seen as the hip, the Black hip era, where all the even white people. It was a risque, not risque. That's not the right word. It was, but there is a level of risk there too. Because it wasn't seen in the upper white society as the place to go, because that's where as the hip place to go in the upper society. I was like, oh no, you don't go down. That's where the Negroes is at, the jazz heads, the druggies, all that kind of stuff. But people who were cool, yes, they will go down there and be a part of the cool crowd. And cool meaning hipsters, like it being hip and being I don't know what the word is. It reminds me of like the beatniks. I don't know why it reminds me of that. Those type of people. They were the cool people that were into the art and into, you know, the buzz of this new culture that was being created. This movement. Um, and this is like the queering of culture. I like me and Zarandrian talked about, how blackness is kind of like there's an innate queerness in blackness. And I think I don't think that that's true. I know that that's true, but it's also um, because of how we have to be in community with people, how society is structured. A lot of times we're going to be in community in a queer ass fucking community because you know because of how society is structured. It puts us in these spaces with each other, queer people, poor white people, black people, black queer people, non-white POC people, who don't read as white. We're all going to be in that same kind of melting pot of culture, and we're all going to there's going to always be this osmosis of culture between the two. It's going to you a lot of times recently, that conversation that Nikita Dragon kind of sparked up when, and you see this conversation pop up a lot where they talk about where there's this argument between cisgender black women and and gay queer people talking about who is creating the culture. Like, oh, they stole that from black women, and then some queer person to say, but then black women stole it from queer people. Like, because we're the one who are styling them. And then there's this like this thing where, well, and then trans women was like, and then y'all bitches got it from us. And then it's like, but y'all trying to be us. It's this whole little thing of who started, like, what came first, the chicken or the egg type of deal. And in my mind, I'm like, well, you'll never get down to the bottom of this, because bottom of that question, like who is creating, who is like ground zero of these kind of cultures that are coming up, because we are all in community with each other, because we all usually, not all of us, but particularly around this time, we all are usually poor and broke and in culture with each other. So there is an osmosis between queer black people and cisgender black people, that we are going to be in community with each other. So it's not really stealing, it is a back and forth that's happening between, because we're in community, we are part of each other's community. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's never really a, you got it from me, you got it from us. I got it from you. That shit. It's never really that. It's always an osmosis going on. Um, no, 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 no. I wasn't saying beatnik was in the 20s. I'm saying it reminded me of how we thought of the beatnik. It reminded me of that, how the beatnik society in the 60s was like the cool part, like it was the cool culture that cool people were trying to be a part of that wasn't a part of the mainstream culture. And then when the mainstream kind of sucked up on it, it kind of dissipated because oh now it's not the cool. It reminds me of that. That's what I'm saying it reminded me of. I don't think it's the same time as that. Totally different times. But in the idea of um the 60s, in that time period, the beatniks were the cool people when it comes to art and music and that kind of stuff. I feel like, but it wasn't the mainstream at all. It was the part of town that it was not part of town, part of society that, the white people, upper class people would steal from and get ideas from and then monetize them. Same thing happened in Harlem in the 20s. Um It's black femininity that creates the culture, in my personal opinion, of course. That's a good homogenized way because black femininity be um could be in a man or in a woman or you know non-binary person. Yeah, I can see that. So yes, so in the beginning of the movie, you are seeing Tessa Thompson character Irene, also known as Renee. Her nickname is Renee, but it's Irene, and she is going to stores, buying things, going in this restaurant, kind of playing her hand at passing, like using some of that privilege because she knows that if they don't clock who she is, she can get some of that privilege that comes with passing or somebody assuming that you're white. And so when I watched that scene right in the beginning, when she was in the store and her hat was down like this, and you just saw this part of her face, and that two things kind of came up. One thing it remind, and I know people hate to make this comparison, and I'm not saying that it's the same thing at all, but y'all know that I'm all about showing parallels. I'm not saying the same thing, but there are parallels experiencing that. I have seen trans people doing what she's doing, the physicality of what she's doing when they are trying to pass, putting the hair in their face and turn their head away from the person that's talking to them, all those physical things that a person can do to be more incognito when it comes to don't look directly at me, don't look, the bangs we call them we call them confidence bangs where they covering up your brow bone, um fans, hair in your face, all that kind of stuff. Those type of the physical gestures that she was doing in that scene in particular, how let me put my head down, let me, those type of things. If you want to act like that's not something that is in our culture, you is lying. I have seen that, I have experienced it, I have performed it, I have seen it. That is definitely something that I know what that feels like, and I know what it looks like when it's happening. And when I saw that in that scene, it literally reminded me of that. Then when I saw that scene, so prior to the movie coming out, I was there was a conversation happening on the internet when they released who was going to be in this movie. Tessa Thompson and and that girl what's her name? Ruth Niga. And when they were saying, and the problem that a lot of people were having, or not a lot of people, but some people were bringing up, was that these women don't pass to them. They looking at these two women, the actresses, and saying that they don't pass. Okay. Now, when I see them, okay, initially in the beginning of this conversation, I was on that side, like, these girls got some real heavy black features, and I can't imagine somebody looking at them and just reading them. It changed to me, and I was like, I would have loved if they would have gotten um some other actresses, even though these two actresses are exquisite. These two actresses are great. Their body of work is amazing. But Ruth could pass a little more than Tessa, but they both were pretty black to me. Yeah, it's just something about them that was I don't know. I just their features. But then I seen, so that was when the conversation first came up, I was on the side of, I don't see them passing like that. They look like light skinned black girls. Now, I am kind of biased because I am a light skinned black girl in a family of other light skinned, almost white, could possibly my my grandmother. I've literally seen her pass to people. My great grandmother here, my 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 not my that's my great great. So this is my mom. This is my hold on, let me scoot over so I can see it. So this is my mom, of course. This is her mother. That's my grandmother. This is my great grandmother. That's her mother. And this is my great great grandmother. That's her mother. And so this woman, while she's just looks like a light skinned black girl to me, I literally have seen her pass. Now, none of them, definitely not my mom. My mom and hers about similar color. She's a little bit lighter than my mom. Um, she's lighter than both of them. And well, my grandmother's a lighter than all of them, but she's a little bit lighter. But I literally have seen her past. I literally have seen her like when I was out in public with her, and people thought she was a white woman. We did black girl to us because we have tons of light skinned black girls. But she literally had to tell them, I'm not no fucking white woman. Like when I was little, I remember being in places with her and people were reading her as white. And she had to say, but um it's usually I don't know why it was. I don't know why they were reading her as white. So I think people's racial IQ be low. Because I come from a family, um, because I come from a family of, I have dark skinned people, I have light skinned people. I just come from like when it comes to complexion and features, I have a very, 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 very um, mixed family. So, one second, I am going to show y'all some pictures of some of my family members. All right, so this Here's my Uncle Joe. Could easily be white or white passing Mexican. Easily. But this is him in high school with his fro. With his wife. He went to Jackson State. My Uncle Joe. Let me look at other pictures. My Uncle Joe. This is him. He is Sigma. He is a Sigma with all his black and his other, y'all can't zoom in, but he definitely could pass as a white man. Definitely. Or Mexican or something like that. But when he let his hair grow out, you really get to see he's a coach in Dallas, so he's a black man, but he definitely could pass. And then we have my cousin David. Let me see if I can find David. So this is my cousin Joe. Joe is like, how do I explain Joe? When Joe let grow his hair out, he looked like a regular black boy. But when he's like bald, when he's like bald or tipping through, he be looking white too. Now, see, this is him with his hair grown out. When he got the hair out, honey, the hair tell on him. But I'm trying to find a picture with him bald. It's hard to see that one. But he be looking white sometimes too. Especially when he's bald. Where are his military pictures? Yeah, this is him in the military looking like that wrestle dude. When he ain't got no hair, he can easily be read as white. Now, let's see my brother Joe. Okay. So it's a couple of so I feel like racial IQ in regards to like seeing people, I think is different, like say in the Midwest, than it would be in like New York, where there's like tons you're used to seeing multicultural people. So you're used to seeing the nuances of what an Italian looks like, nuances of what a Dominican look like, nuances to what a Haitian looks like, nuances to what a Jamaican looks like. You know what I'm saying? Cuban. You're used to seeing these kind of nuances. So there's a racial IQ that comes when you are exposed to various type of people. And so when you don't have that kind of cultural IQ, sometimes you don't understand that, people can manifest in certain kind of ways. And so when I first started watching the show, before I started watching it, I was like, these girls don't pass, but I can suspend my disbelief just to enjoy the show. But then when I seen that scene, it convinced me. When I seen that scene with Tessa Thompson, even though Tessa, I just don't, her or Ruth, I don't see them as passing. But in that scene with her hiding her face and with the hat and da 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 da, I could see how a white person yes, there's a Dixon and tone aids in their passing too. A white person who is used to Black people looking a certain way, who are used to Black people talking and sounding a certain way, I can see how her doing what she was doing could get through sometimes. Now, if she's sitting with her hat off and da 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 da, no, but I can see a unique, special moment where she could get through in that time. And I remember, and I'm thinking about my transness, because I definitely don't pass for white, but I'm thinking about my transness prior to me being trans. I remember, prior to me kind of just, living my womanhood, I remember going into a store and having a hoodie on and totally not trying to pass for a girl. And people would address me as a girl because they would see me, they would think that I was a girl. Until I remember literally going into a CVS, had my hoodie on, no makeup, just trying to buy some chips or something. And the lady kept calling me a she. She kept calling me a girl. And I was like, and I took my hoodie off and she was like, oh, I'm sorry. Because she, even though I wasn't trying, she was reading me for whatever reason as a girl. And that was a special little moment in the sense of, in this little moment, I was passing and I wasn't intentionally passing. So if you have a little moment like her, where she was intentionally trying to pass, I could see it working on sometimes, particularly if they have the voice and the diction and the tone down pat, it really could get through. I can see that happening. And there had to be moments of, even, I hate that there has to be, as a trans person, there's some nuance to when and how you can pass, because there can be some people that we see and we're like, oh, I can't see them passing, but in special little moments we could see them passing. You feel what I'm saying? Like it could be the perfect lighting, the perfect person who is not expecting it, and it's just going through the world. I can see that. And so it wasn't hard for me to be like, oh, okay, I can see her doing it. But I also thought it was interesting in that scene how we knew clear that she was passing and she was trying to pass. And but then when she saw Claire, and Claire was telling her that she was passing like all the time, how she kind of judged Claire, which was kind of strange to me. Not strange, I've seen that, but bitch, you just was sitting here trying to pass for these white people to get your little snacks or get your little stuff, and your whole life is almost like not mimicking, but your whole life, even you having this Black maid, it's kind of like you're doing what Claire is doing, just not to the extent that Claire is doing it. You are doing it too, and you are doing it, but somehow you, because she's doing it all the way, you feel like, oh, I'm not as bad as her. And that was an interesting dynamic in the early onset of the movie, because I was like, I can see that being a real narrative, and how somebody passing in the culture where anti-blackness was so fucking high. I can see how there are people who can dibble dabble in that passing world. I can see that there are some people who are like, oh, I'm passing, and then fuck all these niggas. I ain't trying to be none of them motherfuckers. I'm trying to be white. This is where it's at. This is where the pleasure is. This is where I can be free. I'm about to live like y'all niggas. If I have the ability to go over here and do that. Which later on, if we remember the conversation that was happening between Irene, Renee, and the white man at the Harlem Club when Claire was visiting. So anyway, I'm sorry. Um, so yes, her and Renee, Claire and Renee see each other and have a conversation. And in this moment, Claire has been living and white for a very, very long time. She even got her a white husband. And she has a vile racist white husband. It's not just like it's not like a regular white dude, oh Quaker ass, I'm regular. No, she has she she has convinced she was convincing enough to fool like a lot of people. And her husband, including her husband, is like a racist, I don't like black people kind of racist white man. So much so that he is almost makes this joke about how dark she is getting over the years. Because when she first met him, she was like extra white. Um, she was like extra white, and he was like, over the years, she has gotten darker. And he made a joke in front of Tessa because they're both passing in this moment. They're both passing, like he's supposed to think that these both are white women, which is kind of, I still was suspending my disbelief because I was like, now this is a little too intimate. He didn't question to see her family or anything. I can see that happening, but you can make up a story. You could have been an orphan. You could have been so many different things. There's so many stories of people that you can say of why you can't see family. But it still was interesting. And so that's a good basically having to deny your family. So also, she was raised by her two white religious aunts. But yes, and also what you got to understand as well is it is easy, and this is not making any, I'm not trying to make an excuse for anybody, but it is easy, very, very easy nowadays to be like, oh, I'm black and I'm proud. I would never do that, and say that you never do that. That's me. I'm like, I want to be black. I want to stay on black. And da, 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 da. But we are living in a very, very different time than these people. Our parents have passed away. Yes. Um, we living in a very different time. This is the 20s, and these people are, I don't know how old they were. They had to be like late 20s, early 30s or whatever. Late 20s, early 30s. And so they grow up in the late 1800s. Like they're born in the late 1800s and they're growing up throughout the 1890s, 1900s, 1910s, and when we're seeing them, we are seeing them in the 1920s. So in this era, that is a very, when it comes to what black people can do and what white people can do, it is a very distinct difference. So if you it can, I can see how it could be tempting, very tempting, that if you have the potential and possibility to go over to the other side, I can see how it could be tempting to do that. I can see how you could justify it. Much of the people still alive at that time were still alive during slavery. Yes, this is coming out. I know their grandparents definitely were. Because if slavery stopped in 1865, shit, some 4 or 5 years later, for people in the South like Texas and shit, they didn't find out until years later. So yeah, so if they were old enough to be slaves, which you was a slave as soon as you was born, in the 20s, they would be at the very least in their 50s and 60s. So grandparents, right? Yeah, like their 50s and 60s. So their grandparents and parents were in their 50s and 60s, because most people were getting married young and having babies young too. Just, not like now where it's like, oh, I'm a teen mother. They would be teen mothers having babies with their husbands because they got married when she was 14. Yeah, so they was having babies young, and it was a whole different area of time, particularly for a woman. That is a whole different thing too, particularly for a woman in this time. Your whole status of living and protection. Think about how they were treating white women at this time in regards to protection, comparing their vulnerability to a black woman's vulnerability. Especially if you had children. Look at Carol Channing, old ass, finding out she was supposed to be a black woman when she was 173. Much of the people's, and depending on the man, yes, absolutely. You definitely going to the other side is reminding me of Ruby from Lovecraft. That was on a whole nother level. Yes, but you could see the temptation of Ruby in that scene, in that character. You could see it. And we're talking about people, how far people will want to go. So Claire chose to go far, like, go, honey, I'm marrying a white man and living fully in the identity of a white woman. And then her character also shows you the regret of that. Like, yes, you get these benefits over here, but it is a fucking cage. It's a fucking prison. It's a prison in the sense of you literally, and I know we don't like to compare this type of shit to transness, but I feel the same way about girls going stealth. It is a prison. It is a prison that it is something that you have to keep up with and you have to worry about all the fucking time. So much that she missed being black. Yes. Mm-hmm. Because you realize that whiteness is fucking boring. And I saw an interview on Tea with Queen and Jay with Michaela Davis. She's that Michaela Angela Davis. I think that's her name. Michaela Davis. This woman, this black girl. Have y'all seen her before? So I seen an interview with her. Um, I think she used to be like the fashion director for Vibe. Um, but she's a writer. Um, very, very light, but she got black hair. Um, she's a black woman, but she's very, very light. Um, I seen an interview with her, and um she was talking about you you long to be in these spaces. Not just her. Michelle Obama talked about it, and I'm pretty sure if you have been the token Negro, if you have ever been in any situation where you have been the token Negro that was let in because you were an exceptional Negro, you can relate to this. She was talking about how she worked really, really hard. Let me go to Michelle Obama. I worked really, really hard to make these sickening ass grades to get accepted into Princeton, to get accepted in this elite Ivy League college, and bam, I get in. I get in here. And now I'm thinking that I'm gonna come into this space and it's just gonna be these elite, amazing white people. And then when I actually come in here, they fucking mediocre. They are boring. They are bland. They are nothing. So I work this damn hard to be exquisite. And I come in this space and it's nothing but mediocre white people here that don't hold a candle to my skill because I have been sharpened so well trying to get to the space. And then I'm in the space and these people are nothing. They are dumb as a box of rocks. Michelle said, we've come in meetings and we hearing people talk and they are dumb as a box of rocks. And we are wondering, y'all think that we're the black people and y'all think we are not supposed to be here? And so, yes, when you get in these, you work hard to get in these spaces for this privilege when we talk about Claire, and then you realize that this shit is quite boring. This shit is quite boring. These motherfuckers is mediocre. They're like nothing. Yes, it protects me from a certain level of indignity on a day-to-day basis. But when it comes to just sitting in this space and snuggling into this whiteness, you realize that this shit is boring. It's not fun. It's no passion. It's nothing. It's whack. And for me, I think anybody who has been in a position of being the exceptional Negro that the white people like, that you hear stuff, you're not like regular black. Anytime you've been in that space, you know what I'm talking about. Because you realize these motherfuckers is corny and lame and bland as they fucking chicken. So when Claire and Irene meet each other, it sparks this longing in Claire. I have felt that way. People usually try to remove me from my blackness because my mom is Afro-Cuban, Afro-Colombian, and people can't fathom black folks being from anywhere outside of Africa or the United States. Right. Which is actually a privilege that a lot of folks in that, when it comes to other black folks, we are usually the standard when it comes to race conversations. we are privileged to have our racial analysis put up on a pedestal, and everybody else who are not in those places are usually silenced outside of the conversation. Um, so Claire longs to be, I don't want to say black again, but for whatever to have, she wants her cake and eat it too. She wants to be, what am I missing? She wants to dabble her foot in it again. Thank you, Brandon. It sparked Claire's longing to retrieve her blackness at any cost. So she started coming. She started writing letters to Irene, and Irene, hey Halo, and Irene wasn't responding to her letters, and Irene went back to her husband, because I was being distracted by a conversation. There was some weird shit happening between Irene and her husband. Like, what was happening in that car? Was she, when her husband was trying to kiss her, and was she telling him not to kiss her so the people would know that they were together? Like, what was that tea? I was on a phone call when I was watching it. And what was the tea when she was in the car with her husband and the people was looking at them? And she was like, no, not right now, because people might see us. What was going on with that? Irene was gay. There's a lot of shit that I didn't clock. Because I sure didn't clock that. I need to watch it again then, because I thought that was a trade. Oh, I didn't clock none of that. Oh, I definitely didn't clock none of that. I thought that was her trade. That's why motherfuckers don't need to call me during movies, because I thought that was her husband. And then was their kids. We're watching, but the movie did remove the queer element. The book had. Oh. Sex was only to make the babies. He spoke about that. Oh, yeah, there was some. I got a vibe that she wasn't fucking him like normal, but I thought that was just normal. Irene and Claire used to hunch. Word. There was a lesbian. So that is true. So there was some type of vibe that was happening that was giving me Diker staff, like bulldogger tease that was happening between the two. So I never read the book, but even in the film, there was a queer element in it, but I didn't think it was intentional. Mm-hmm. Yeah, at the party. At the party when she grabbed her hand, I was like, this is real intimate. This is giving me lesbo. What's going on? She didn't want Claire there because Claire was about to expose what she really was passing as, aka a wife, straight. Oh, I'm gonna have to watch it again because that makes it even more interesting that they were playing with the queer ideas. Because that's even more brilliant, actually, because you're playing with the idea of passing when it comes to black and white, because the idea of passing it as white, as that conversation with Claire, not Claire, with Irene. If I say Renee and forget to say Irene, that I'm talking about the same person. Renee, when Renee was talking to the white man and she was spilling Claire's tea, when she was spilling Claire's tea is about not being a white woman. And the white man said, why wouldn't you? I think that sentiment is very clear because race relations was so drastically different, and it was such a hot, it was fucking Jim Crow. And so Claire was waking up them urges, baby. Irene said, Holy Spirit activate. It's so obvious, just based on, even remember what the white man said, just based on the culture of the time, it is obvious why you would want to be a white woman. It's obvious why you would pass. It's obvious why you would do that. It is so clearly obvious. But when we think about other things that we are passing for, when we're passing for straight, because it's not that the culture was that goes back to that conversation when black people try to say, well, I can't hide my blackness. You can hide your gayness. That's why you're black first, or you should prioritize being black. But that's why we didn't move forward fast like the civil rights culture. I know they try to sell the narrative, particularly in this conversation about Dave Chappelle. They try to sell the narrative that gay people are moving along faster than black people, but that's not the case. And one of the reasons why I think that is because you cannot hide that you are black, usually. Now, this show is about passing. So there are some people that can, when they have a phenotype, when you look like Rashida Jones, like Quincy Jones' daughter. Why didn't they hire her? She would have played the shit out of one of them roles. Claire, Rashida Jones as Claire, could she do the voice? I don't know. But Rashida Jones as Claire, now that's believable. Quincy Jones's daughter, she is what when I think of passing for white, Rashida Jones is what I think about. Like, you look like a white woman. Rashida, do y'all know who Rashida Jones is? Let me show you a picture of her for the people who don't. That is Quincy Jones' daughter with Peggy. I don't remember his white wife, his white baby mama. Rashida Jones looked like a whole white woman, baby. Rashida, when I think of passing for white, I think of Rashida Jones. Like Rashida, yes, her father is black, but she looks like a regular degular white woman with a tan, with a nice tan. I can see her passing. I can see her getting through. And then you get what I'm saying? There's a nuance to that. There are some people who are going to be like fully in. I think Rashida looks too much like a white woman that you wouldn't have gotten into. But isn't that what we needed for Claire? But I feel like we needed that Claire. I think we needed. I wouldn't necessarily have needed it for Irene's character, but I needed it for Claire. For me to believe that a white man married you and you were able to get through for a long period of time, I needed you to be like Rashida. I needed that for Claire. I didn't necessarily need it for Irene, but I needed it for Claire. I really needed it for Claire. It was like same thing with it's same thing as Holly Berry in Queen. I don't feel like Holly Berry looks like a white girl. I don't feel like she looks like a white girl at all. Even with her small features. That was a interesting. Here is Holly Berry. Look at Holly Berry's face. They made her makeup light, but look at her hands looking dark. But Holly Berry as Queen, it wasn't believable. And Holly Berry doesn't have big features like African-esque features. I she doesn't have she has little waif little features, but it's something about her that doesn't read white to me. It just doesn't read white. Um yeah, Holly didn't give me that. Leave Ruth, she gave me Haughty, Marilyn Monroe, Betty Boop, Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. Yeah, I didn't get that. I really had to suspend my. Ruth was believable to me. Holly was not. Yeah, Ruth wasn't believable to me. It was something about Ruth that was not. Let me look. Let me get pictures for the people. Pictures. Hmm. Okay. It's um. I don't know. It's given. Okay, I can see it. This is Ruth. I don't know. It just was something about her features that did not read as particularly white to me. But that's a better picture. Yeah, I'm getting into it in that sense. It's almost more believable in color, more so than in. Yeah, it's actually giving me more believable in color than it actually is giving me. Because it's yes, it's something about. Let's see if this will. It's something about the black and white. I know that they were trying. There we go. So yeah, it's something about the color that is making it more believable to me. Do you see what I'm saying? Because in black and white, you don't get the color, and so you only get to see her features. And I'm not 100% convinced by these girls' features that they would be passing because they look like in their features, it's giving me black girl, but light skinned black girl. But in this color, with color added, definitely Tessa ain't giving me nobody's white woman. But in this color picture, I am getting Ruth. I can see how Ruth can be seen as like you said, um yeah, I can see that Betty Boop, 20s, Betty Davis. Yes, I can. In color, in black and white, it wasn't giving this tea. Me looking at these color pictures, I'm like, okay, I'm seeing it. Let me look up young Betty Davis. Young Betty Davis.
Check out these pictures.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah, I see what you're saying. Definitely. Young Betty Davis. Yep, definitely. I can see it. I can see it. Yeah, that's the real white that Betty Davis. I can see that. Because Betty had a uniquely, to me, this is my opinion of Betty. Betty had why I think why Betty wasn't seen as the beauty and she was seen as the actress is because she was fighting an uphill battle to be that Eurocentric beauty. I think she had more you know, I don't want to say ethnic looks, but she didn't have that stereotypical beauty. She had, honey, she was very Jewish fish. Yeah, so I could see, but I thought that that was when we hold on, I'm about to go to this and then when we had the conversation, this was an old picture. This was put in the Ebony magazine back in, hold on, let me see what time it was. It was 1952. Now, mind you, this is not the 20s, but this is 1952. And this is people who they put this in the Ebony, and the headline was which is Negro, which is white. And they had pictures of people. Let me see if I can get it to zoom in. That. And so they had pictures of people who some of them are white, some of them are black, and you had to figure out which ones. And they had on the bottom the answers. Do y'all want to play it? What do we got? Do y'all want to play it? Y'all want to see which one it is? So let me zoom in so y'all can see. So y'all give me. So I'm gonna zoom in on each picture, and then we're gonna see what they are. All right. So, all right. I think this will be fun. So I'm gonna zoom in on each picture. And if you think that this is a white person, type a W. If you think that this is a black person, type a B. All right. We got the rules. Type 1 if you got the rules. Y'all ready? Now my connection is too blurry to play. All right. So this is the first one. So is he black or white? All right. So I'm getting. All right. So we're getting a lot of B's. So everybody is saying B for number one, that he is black. All right. So you all are fucking wrong. He is white. So number one is in the answer key is he is white. All right. So let's go to the next person. All right. This is number two. Is this black or white? All right. Y'all see her? This is a woman. That's the title. So don't think it's a Negro because y'all see the title. That's a it says the title says black or white. Black or Negro. I mean white or Negro. So is this black or white? I'm seeing a W. I'm seeing a B. All right. I'm seeing half and half. Two B's and two whites. What y'all got? All right. All right. Two B's and two whites. I'm seeing another B. So we got three B's. We got four B's and two whites. All right, let's go to the key. Oh, we got five B's. So, six B's. Come on, come on, come on, come on. All right. So number two is roll call. Number two is white. Oh, I see a lot of B's. Yep. She is white. So y'all got most of y'all got them wrong, but Gigi got it right. Um, Gigi got it right, and Joel got it right. Most of y'all thought she was black. She was actually white. Let's see. Let's see. All right, let's see this one. All right, so y'all ready? All right, so who's this one? Black or white? All right, we're getting two B's, three B's, big black, four B's. We're getting a B. Joel getting a one white. Randito, one white. All right, let's go to the key. She looks like Coretta. The lack of lips. The lack of lips. Give it. You think she's white because the lack of lips. Um, my mama ain't got no lips. That's one thing about my mama. She laughs. She says, "I'm a black girl, but I ain't got no damn lips." Her lips was so little. Black. So I'm seeing mostly black, but I got two whites. So let's go to the key. Number three is a Negro. Number three is a Negro. Yes, 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 yes. So everybody was right except for Joel and Chris. Joel and Chris, who said that they were white. All right, so let's go to number four. It is 16 of them. We're going to do all 16. All right. So, all right, number four. I feel like number four is so clear. It's so clear. I don't know who she thought she was fooling. But y'all tell me, number four, black or white? Honey, she is giving me definitely black. Girl, who is you fooling? She's giving me Tessa Thompson. She's giving me Pearl Haley, honey. But we'll look at the key. What y'all think? Everybody like girl black. Okay, let's see. Halo said white. Girl, this woman don't look like nobody's white woman. Let's see. Yeah, she's giving very Etta James. Wendy said white. All right, so let's see. Number 4, definitely a Negro. So yes, Mama is a Negro. She was working at the Cotton Club. They doused her with a talcum powder. Right, she was getting the talcum cancer powder, baby. All right, so let's go to number 5. All right, let's see. See what number 5 is. Black or white? Somebody said Eleanor Roosevelt. All right, so I'm seeing a lot of W's. I'm seeing a lot of W's. All right, so she said black. All right, so we got mostly W's and 1 black. So let's see the key. So this is number 5. All right, so number 5 is Negro, gag ball. So she would have been passing for y'all hoes. Y'all would have thought she was a white woman, baby, and she was a whole negress. Negro. So we have had 2 whites, 3 Negroes. And most of y'all have been wrong. Only one we was for sure right is that last one. Is the one before this one. So yeah, she's a Negro. She would have got me too, because she's looking quite like a old school teacher white. Yeah, she looks. I would have thought she was white too. She's very white. I thought she was white. I thought she was white too. All right, so let's go to number 6. All right. All right, y'all ready? This is a man now. I need to see her birth certificate. All right, this is the man now. Now, I would have said black because he's giving me W.E.B. Du Bois as an older man. But I don't know. I would say black, but I don't know. I don't know what he could be. What y'all get? White or black? I'm gonna say black. He looks like my granddaddy. He looked like my granddaddy George Henry. He looks giving you W.E. Du Bois. Edgar is white. So I'm getting all right. So I'm getting 4 W's, 2 blacks. Either I don't know. All right, what y'all think? Who else is voting? Black or white? He looks like my great great granddaddy Theophilus. Theophilus. How you say that, bitch? Theophilus. Theophilus. That's one of them old classic names, baby. Okay, so we seeing a lot of white. Everybody's seeing white. So number 6. Let's see what the key says. Number 6 is he's a Negro. He's a Negro. A lot of y'all would have got Huddy. He would have been passing. He would have been passing for y'all, honey, because he's a Negro. Yeah, I would have been right because I clocked it. He is giving me. He looked like my Uncle Henry in W.B. Du Bois. That's what he gave. All right, so let's go to number 7. Number 7. I don't know. This is obvious to me, but let's see what y'all think. All right. So y'all, I'm seeing a lot of B's. I'm saying B too. She's giving me a black woman. She's giving me my great aunt. She looks like her with a different grade of hair. She's giving me, I'm getting black woman. What is E? Oh, W. You getting white, Royal? You saying white? Yeah. Most people are saying black. I'm saying black too. We got one white. We got 2 black. Okay, so most people are saying black. So let's look at the key. So that's number 7. All right, let's go to the key. She is a Negro. Most of y'all got that right, baby. She is black. Negro. It was obvious to me. She looked like people in my family. Now this is an interesting one. So let's see. All right, this is A. This one ain't as I don't know. Tell me what y'all think. I'm gonna say this one ain't as easy. What's she giving? Is she black? Is she white? What is she? She a negress or a whitest? Is she black? Is she white? What's she giving? It's a black woman. Yeah, I'm not getting black woman. I can see how she could be, but I'm not getting black woman. I don't know. I can see it. I'm gonna bet white, but I don't know. She kind of give you Lauren London a little taste, like an old school Lauren. She might be black. I might have to change it. I might have to change. She might be black. I don't know. She look like Kiki. Yeah, I don't know. What is she? Hmm. Okay, no, she's not white. She's black. I'm gonna go with B too. I'm gonna go with B. All right, let's see. I'm gonna go with black too. All right, so number 8. So everybody who is saying so Devin, you said white. So everybody is saying black except for Devin. I was gonna go with white with you, Devin, but something about her is giving me like she could be a black woman. Okay, so let's go to the key. Let's see what it gives. All right, so that was number 8. Number 8 is white. Wow. So you was right, Devin. Number 8 is white. She's a white woman. Work. She would have got us together. Ah. Ah. She would have been Rachel Dolezal in us. She would have been Rachel Dolezal in us. Child. She would have been the head of the NAACP, y'all. Wow. All right, so let's go to number 9. All right. Ooh, I don't know what she giving. I don't think this one is easy too. Did these people know they were using their pics for this purpose? I think they did. All right. Honey, she's giving. Is she giving Gertrude or is she giving Sue Ellen? What's she giving? I don't know what she giving. Good evening. Is she giving Gertrude, Sue Ellen, Ruby Z, Opal? What is she giving? Is she white or is she black? Edith Bunker. Those were the days. Racist lunch lady tease. All right, so I'm seeing a lot of W's. Black, but she hated. She might be black. So what is it, LeBeau? Which one is it? Is you think she black? She thinks she white. Which one is it? I don't know. I can't really tell you. I don't know. Okay, what is my guess? My guess is I'm gonna say white. I'm gonna go with white. I'm gonna go with white. All right, so I see a lot of W's. A lot of W's, a few black. Okay, Ty says she's black. LeBeau says she's black. All right, so we got most everybody said white except for Ty and LeBeau. Let's see what she is. So that's number 9. The key. She black. She not white. We all was wrong except for Ty and LeBeau. She black. She a Negro. Yeah, I would have thought she was white. So she would have been passing y'all. She would have been getting through. She would have been getting through, baby. All right. Yep, she's a black woman. All right, y'all ready for number 10? What makes this game as hard is is it black and white pics. That does make it hard because you get a different when you see color, it's a different kind of you don't know because you only can go by features and not color. And color can make it easier or harder because it's just a different tone. All right, let's go to 10. Because like I said, with passing the movie in the black and white, you only can get into their features, and in their features, it was given very girl. This is a black woman. All right, here's number 10. Is she white or is she black? Is she giving you Katie or Keisha? I'm gonna say she's a white woman because she's giving me I can't pronounce her name, but she plays the girlfriend on Boys Don't Cry. She plays the girlfriend on Boys Don't Cry. That something, the Chloe Soverini, or whatever her name is. I'm gonna say white. White or black? Is she white or black? All right, we got one, two. What is alien? One, two. I'm seeing two whites and four blacks. I'm gonna say white. So count me. So three whites. So half a half white, half a half black. All right. Anybody else adding? I see a black. I see a black. Kelly from Jack and Jill. I don't know Kelly. Um, we seeing mostly black. We got three whites. All right. So let's see. Let's go to the key. Number 10. She is a white woman. She is white. Most of y'all, she would have been passing. She would have been passing on our side. Y'all would have thought she was black. She would Rachel Dolezal. Yeah, she a whole white woman, and y'all would have let her into the cookout, fooling y'all, getting y'all coins, getting y'all diversity and inclusion coin. She would have been taking y'all money. She would have been taking y'all jobs, pretending to be black. She would have been it. All right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more. All right, let's go. Y'all ready? Hmm. Black or white? Is it Allison or Latoya? Which one? Which one is it? Allison or Latoya? What's the T? Hey. All right. So that's 11. One more time. What y'all get? What y'all get? Vita Bowen from Tu Wong Fu. She is giving very that. All right. Kelly Ann, baby. Let's see. So that's number 11. Yeah. So let's see what the key number 11. She number 11 is a negress. Negro. She is one of the girls, baby. She has a birthright ticket to the invitation to the cookout, baby. She is a negress. So everybody who said black, y'all were right. All right, let's go to number 12. She was a Negro, baby. She would have passed for y'all. Y'all would have thought she was a white woman and would have been her maid. Honey. Y'all would have thought she was a white woman, baby. Oh, I think this is a hard one. Cause I can't tell who this lady is. All right, y'all ready? Y'all ready? All right. Honey, what is she giving? I don't even know. Is she giving Mabel or Barbara? Which one is she giving? Black or white? Which one is it? Is she giving slave master or founder of the AKAs? Which one is she giving? Follow me around the store, white. All right, I can't see. I'm seeing a lot of whites. Everybody's saying white, 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 white. Her nose. Halo says she's black. Usher board black. Come on, Usher board black. She looks like my great aunt Elizabeth. She black. White. Your children are so clean. White. All right, let's see what she giving. All right, so that's number 12. Number 12 is a Negro. She is a Negro. Come on. So everybody who said she was white, she would have been passing, baby. She would have had y'all as maids. Cleaning her house and fucking her husband. White, your children are so clean. White work. President of the Karens. She is a Negro, honey. All right. I've been wrong each and every time. I know you fucking lying. She definitely passing in. That was my aunt. Yeah, honey. She is Negro, honey. Mother Gertrude. Pushing through. All right. So let's get this one. Okay. This one is obvious for me. I don't know if I'm right, but I feel like this is so obvious. All right. Is she black or is she white? Maybe this was an error. She white. All right. So number 13. I think she's black, but y'all tell me what y'all think. This is obvious as hell to me. It's giving me a black woman. It's giving me black. What is it giving y'all? That's Miss Patty. Yes, it's giving me Miss Jeanette. Miss Jeanette that have the blues parties with the Colt 45 that smoke cigarettes down. All right, so everybody is saying black. I'm giving black too. It's obvious black to me. Let's see. That's number 13. Let's see. Number 13 is a Negro. So we always right. She wasn't fooling nobody. If you don't get your black ass to the back of the bus, girl, you trying it. Come on, girl. Get off back here with us. Oh, Devin, you was wrong, baby. That is not no white woman. Come on, Miss Jeanette girl. They not buying it. They not buying it. They is not buying it, girl. It's a shop. You is not getting through. It is not going through, girl. All right, let's get on number 14. All right. This is another one. I'm betting she getting on the back of the bus, but we'll see. What y'all think? This is obvious to me too, so y'all tell me. She did try to tip through. She did. She tried, but we weren't having it. You're not fooling us. This is another one. I'm getting black girl. Girl, I'm getting black girl, honey. I ain't getting white woman. I'm getting black girl. I don't know. It's obvious to me. But what y'all think? White or black? Yeah, it's giving me back of the bus, girl. Honey. You're not getting through. It's giving me to the service door, girl. I see white. All right, Joel. Joel said he sees white. If her hair was blonde, I could see white. All right. All right. So y'all getting. So I see 2 whites. Oh, wait, I see 3 whites. All right. I saw some of y'all is getting food. Some she getting through. She used to try to pass though. Hollywood was a different place then. All right. So most of us is saying black, but we see 1, 2, 3 whites. All right. Number 14. Let's see. Number 14 is a Negro. Service door. You on the front of my porch, girl. You supposed to go around to the back. Service door, please. These is white only pies. These are not for you. All right, so she is a Negro. So a lot of us got that right. So y'all girls who could see it for her, she would have got y'all. Y'all would have been her maids. All right, so the last two. All right, the last two are one last woman and one last man. Ooh, now this one is kind of hard. I don't know what this was giving. All right. Ooh. This was kind of hard. All right, y'all ready? Y'all ready? Ready. I'm getting butch white lesbian, baby. I'm getting white woman. I'm getting butch white lesbian. What y'all giving? What y'all getting? I'm getting butch white lesbian. Black or white? Is she black? Is she white? What is she giving? Service door or she coming through the front? Which one? She coming through the front or she coming through the back? Asian passive for white. She look half Asian, probably black. White as hell. Front of the bus. Yeah, she definitely goes for Joe, for Joanne. White. I'm seeing white. I'm getting butch white lesbian. I'm getting she gonna come to the club in a suit and a tie and take a bitch home and eat her pussy. I'm getting definitely white. So I don't know. These hard curls look very my first perm bump in the ends. Third grade teacher, white. So I'm seeing a lot of white. I'm seeing Asian passport white as hell. All right, so number 15, let's see the key. Number 15 is white. This is the mistress of the house, baby. White. White woman. Honey, stand by her while her husband whip you. Stand by while her husband sneak back into the house after fucking you in the slave quarters. She's side-eyeing her husband, white. All right, last one is a man. Let's see what he's giving. All right, so what is this? Is he white or black? What they giving? I think they trying to fool us with the bridge of that nose being so straight. He might be a black boy. Cause that side profile is giving like they trying to fool us. See, black or white? What's the T? Is he giving you Thurgood Marshall or is he giving you Fred Astaire, Gene Kelly, Harry Belafonte? What is he giving? Black or white? This is the last one. Let's redeem yourselves. That nose is looking kind of straight. I don't know. That's looking like a real Caucasian nose from the Caucasus Mountains. That's giving real Polish, real Neanderthal. I mean, not Neanderthal, real Netherlands, white or black. I feel like they're trying to trick us with that nose. He might be black because that nose is kind of straight. That's giving you, honey, the Vikings nose. Yeah, all of it's giving real Nordic, very Nordic. But I feel they're trying to trick us with that. Is he black or is he white? He's black. So I'm seeing, so let's see. Let's see what we're giving. I'm seeing white, I'm seeing black, I'm seeing black, I'm seeing his eyes. He hiding his eyes back back in the bus. Black, definitely Belafonte. White. So Joel thinking black. True. The brow bone is giving Nordic. So what's honey, what's your T? You said black, Marissa. What's the T? Is it gonna be black or is it white? Because it's giving Nordic. What's the T? LeBeau said black. This is the last one. Devin said white. The chin is giving slightly Jay Leno. Okay, so you switched from, you said definitely black. Okay. The chin is giving Jay Leno. It is giving Jay Leno. Let's look again. Black or white? Who's that? All right, so let's look at the key. The last one of the night. All right, I'm seeing black. I'm seeing mostly everybody saying black. I'm seeing a few whites. I'm seeing 1, 2. I feel like that nose is trying to trick us. So I'm going to say black because he was looking too white for me to say. He looks white, but I feel like they're trying to trick us. So let's go to the key. Number 16, last one of the night is white. Honey, he would have been having you in the slave quarters, baby. He would have been at your lynching. He would be at your lynching, trying to get a few teeth or a piece of your skin to take home and put on his mantle. He would have been smiling in the pictures while you were hanging in the tree. Yep. So he was a white man. So that was fun. And so what this lets us know, the side profile threw me. Yeah, the side profile said white man because how super straight that nose was, but he was a white man. That's why I gave that. But what this shows you is we all have different views of what looks black, what looks white, and you ain't gonna because race is so arbitrary. Some people would get through with me, and then some people would get through with you. So some people, based on where they are, circumstances, some people would see it and some people won't. And that kind of it was from 1952 Ebony. It was an Ebony article that was in Ebony in 1952. That's where the pictures came from. And so in that, but that lets you know that, and especially when we have different types of races going on, like when we add the impact of like the Irish people, the Italian people who have very Moorish, Italian people have very Moorish history. When we add, the Arabic and South Asian and Asian, and and then being that Black people are the fucking birthers of the fucking humanity. Africa is the motherland of everybody. We're gonna have everybody's features manifested in us. You see, I know y'all done seen them Black people that look fucking Asian as fuck, and they ain't got no Asian in shit. Even me, when I smile, I'm getting you. Even me, a lot of people think that I'm like mixed with Black and Asian. You're gonna see Asian in people. You're gonna see Latinx features in people because we are from the fucking motherland. You're gonna see everybody in us. So it's gonna be times when those features are highlighted and come out and all that kind of stuff. So there's gonna be a lot of people. There's going to be a lot of people that could get through possibly of anything. And I know y'all seen them Latinx people that could easily be Asian, that easily look like Asians, and then those Native people that look like Asians. Yeah, we're going to have various features and genes that's going to be overlapping. So anybody could have passed. And so when I look at people, I know sometimes that even though they look Black to me, to somebody else, they probably could get through, particularly people who don't have a lot of ethnicities in their proximity to know the difference. Because there are some people who people be saying they passing for white, and I'm like, they do not look like they passing at all to me. I can clearly see that they're a Black girl. And so I definitely have seen Native and Latinx with Asian. Absolutely. And so back to the movie. And so I love how I love the character of Claire. I love how she was missing being Black. And, I wish they would have played the queerness up a little bit more because I didn't know. I got little tidbits of it, but I wish they would have played it more because that would have been a juxtaposition to kind of discuss. But we can discuss it. I think that Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I think that you could hide your blackness. I mean, you can hide your queerness and you can't hide your blackness. And that's why it took longer for queerness to really make the mark. True. Like to me, Meghan Markle is white passing. Many disagree though. Exactly. I'm somebody who disagree. When I look at Meghan Markle, she looks like a mixed girl. She does not give me white. She looks like, is she light skinned? Does she have small little features? Yes. But Meghan Markle don't look white passing to me. I would have clocked Meghan Markle's blackness from miles away. She does not give me a white woman. I would have clocked it. I would have seen it. She looks like many girls in my family. She looks like my cousin Mandy. Let me see if I can find her. Um She looked like white with a tan to me. Yeah, she does not give me white with a tan, baby. She gives me a regular, degular mixed girl. Charles is only letting me see some of his people. I'm trying to show y'all my cousin Mandy. See if I can find her. Mm, oh, I can't find her. Let me see. Let me see. True. Megan. Da, 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 da. Child, for the longest, I thought that Megan was a white woman with a tan. It wasn't until I saw her young pictures with her natural hair. Yes. So hair don't be fooling me because I have such a wide range of grades of hair in my family. So I have two twins, twin girls in my family. Alexandra. If you've been on Marsha's Plate, I have an episode on Marsha's Plate called "What's Going On with the High Schoolers," featuring my cousin Allie. Her name is Alexandra, and Allie is the lighter of the twins, but she has the more tightly curled hair. She has the kinky hair. She has the hair, that we would call, that needs the relaxer, don't need it. But you get what I'm saying? She has the more curly, tightly coiled hair. Where her darker sister, they're twins, they're fraternal twins. Her darker sister, who is darker than her, but her hair is straight like white people's. And so I have she's like Tatiana Ali, like her hair, like her. And so it's I had such a wide range. So when I seen Meghan Markle, I'm like, that looks like a mixed girl. Yeah. Meghan Markle, when she was in that video, that Dawn dishwashing liquid video with Meghan Markle. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah. Oh, this is perfect. So this is Meghan Markle. Yeah, Megan looks like a biracial girl. Look at them regular white girls. Yeah, she is giving me regular little mixed girl. Yeah, Megan gave me a little mixed girl. I have tons of black girls in my family that look like that. All right. Um, yes, thank you, Devin. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, her childhood pictures give it away. She doesn't look mixed to me when she doesn't look mixed to me when she was younger, just a light-skinned black girl. I mean, I think you mean she does look mixed to me when she was younger, just a light-skinned black girl. Oh, the white definitely clocked her though. The whites definitely clocked her. Honey, the white said, "Ha ha, we know a niggers when we see a nigger." Because immediately they was putting it in the motherfucking tabloids. But that's why Irene said most black people know when others are passing. Because I do think that. I think because we are, we're having these, not we, but in back in the day, we were having these mixed race babies, so we would know what they look like. Megan puts me in the mind of Journey Smollett. Yes, they both look, now they don't look alike, but they look like mixed. They are mixed black girls. Um, but what and I would think that black people would have a more keen eye for that kind of racial ambiguity. What are your thoughts about the white girl from Little Mix trying to pass as a black woman? Oh, I think that's weird. I think what I think about that when that happens, I think that like any other kind of like the Bo Derricks of the world, when we think about Diamond is Kiki and Kiever twins, no. Kiki is the oldest, Kiever's next, and then Kendall is next. They are all stair step. Um um I I don't believe that white people want to be black. I think they want to be exotic. I don't think they want to be black. I don't think they get their lips to be as big as black people's. I think they want them to be full enough to look exotic. I think there's a difference, and I know a lot of black people say, um, a lot of black people say, "Oh yeah, she want to be black. They want to have black girl booties like us." And even the booty size, they want to look. It goes in and out of fashion. The big butts. Y'all remember back in the day, the white girls. What is it? I like big butts, and I can't not lie. You other brothers can't deny when a girl walks in with a little bit waist and a round thing in your face. That in the beginning of that song, there was two white girls. There's a skit in the beginning of it saying, "Oh my God, Becky, look at her butt. It is so big. She looks like one of those rap guys' girlfriends." Y'all remember that? why that skit worked at the time is because it wasn't in vogue for us to have big butts. And when I say us, I mean society. Big butts weren't in fashion. They're in fashion now, but even fat girl big butts is not in fashion. They want it to be plump, juicy, but they don't want it to be big. They want it to be they want that middle gray area. They want that exoticism. They don't want to be dark skinned, like dark. They want to be tan, that kind of mixed and that kind of exotic tan color. They don't want to be dark. Now, of course, you got some people that are like that girl in Sweden that gets melanin injections. But I'm talking about on the regular. White people don't want to be black. They don't want to be dark. They want to be darker than what they are so they can look exotic. Racially ambiguous, yes. And I think there's a difference. I think that is a difference, that a distinction that we gotta really make. They don't want to be black. They want to be exotic. Because if you ask them, every time you take one of them surveys about them, would they want to be the other race? Since they think everything is equal, would they want to be the other race? They always say no. No. And I think that they're telling the truth. There is things that they want to borrow. There's things that goes in and out of style that they want to borrow. They want now the body is in, but it's not. I'm pretty sure years from now, it probably can swing the other way. Yeah, that's a classic experiment that Jane Elliott has been doing for years. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's a distinct difference. What else? What else? Yeah, so I think it's a good. So Pat, let's get back to Passing. So I think Passing is a good movie. I don't want to ruin it and do spoilers and talk about the ending. But check it out. And I think the conversation with the white man and Renee and Irene, I think that conversation was a powerful conversation when he was like, why would you not pass? And you questioning and bringing up that question, and then when what you call it told Claire's tea to the white man, and he clocked in the middle of the conversation like, oh, and then I thought it was a powerful conversation, and not powerful, but I have said this for years. This is something that I haven't been able to fully articulate the idea. So this is just a tip of the iceberg of my thought process. So don't judge me on it. But I have said for years that I think that what we see in porn, trends in the underground sexual world, really give you a glimpse of what was going on in the past, to me. Because what is happening right now in the world of sexuality and in the porn world, what are the trends and the topics and the videos that are kind of like what's happening here? I think it really gives you an idea of what was happening in the back back in the day. We just didn't have it documented in the same way that we have now. Think about it. The race play that we see, like the whole cuckold, fuck my hot wife, using black men as the object for the pleasure for the white woman while the white man watches. In the same way that there's a norm that happens that we see because we're used to seeing the woman exploited. So we know that they're raping the women, but I know based on the freedom that we have, think about people who are in power. I know that there was some fucking white slave masters who were using the men as sexual objects as well, because they are doing it now that we have the more freedom. They are doing it now in these videos that we are seeing where the bull, the BBC bull, and we see the white man watching in that exhibitionist, that voyeurist kind of situation where he's watching his wife get fucked by this bull, this man, this buck, and it turns him on. You think that voyeurism, that taboo didn't turn them on back then? I know we focus on the black women being raped, but there's a level of that as well that I know was happening. You can't tell me that wasn't happening, that they weren't being object. They running around half naked with these big ass dicks, and you think the woman ain't wanting to play with that? And all they got is these rich ass white men with these little late pieces. You think them white mistresses wasn't looking at the men and wanting to play, even outside of the culture of this is seen as an animal. This is seen as a you get what I'm saying? This is seen as doing something dirty. When has being dirty ever not been sexual? Like that's the nasty part. That the taboo is what makes it sexy, even sexier too. This is the plain old sex. This is the sex that's like, ooh, we're not supposed to touch it. That's what makes it sexier. So you can't tell me that they weren't playing in that regard. And because they are human beings dealing with other human beings, even if they try to play the fake cognitive dissonance that these are animals and da-da-da-da, these motherfuckers was talking to you. These motherfuckers look like human beings. They look like you, motherfucker. And they have emotions just like you have emotions. I know that there was a nuance in the relationships of people. Just like we see it in the educational system. You saw these white women sneaking and teaching Negro children how to read because they wanted to prove a point. These are human beings. These are people who have a heart and a mind, and they can be brilliant if we give them a chance. You can't tell me that there weren't white women who was like, just like they're thinking about that progressiveness in the educational realm, that they weren't thinking about it in the relationship and education realm. White women and white men. You feel what I'm saying? I know that there was some white guys tried to make plantations with white submissive women. Yeah, that's weird. Have you ever heard of race play yeah, I have heard that many a times. That I know. That's why I say these things that are coming up now that we have the freedom to be open and talk about liking them, they were still existing back then. They were still existing. Yes, I remember a couple back that white progressive messing around with black men in Oklahoma. Child, the black man, the white woman ended up killing the pastor. It was late. So, and even in the movie, which I love the movie, but I love the depiction of this because it gives you more nuance. Because when as a black person growing up, you think about the norm of slaves getting beat, norm of we think we are better than you and you are beneath us. And yes, that could be the general norm. But I know, just like there's nuances now, that there are nuances that were happening in that time period. And because of the culture, they were maneuvering and making shit work for their own humanity in the same that way that we are as trans people, as queer people, as Black people, as Latin, Afro Latinx people. We're kind of what's her name, Melissa Harris Perry. She has a book called Sister Citizen, and one of the early chapters she described this experiment of the crooked room. And the crooked room was they set up this room to where the room and the seat was cocked. The room and the seat was cocked in a way, but when people came into the room and sat into the seat, they would try to adjust their body just naturally. They would try to adjust their body and how they were sitting in the chair to the way to make the room right side up, even though it was uncomfortable in the chair. Like, so they were trying to shift their bodies and shift their way to fit the crooked room. And this was an experiment that was put on. And so what it taught them in the experiment is that people will try to adjust themselves to be right side up, to make it fit whatever is happening in the surroundings around them. They will try. So like, let's say this is the right way, but the room is crooked and turned this way. People would sit in a chair and their bodies would lean towards this way, even though this is a uncomfortable way of sitting in the chair. They would try to make their bodies match the room. And she was, and what she was sharing in the book is called Sister Citizen, so check it out. The point that she was trying to make is that Black people, particularly Black women in the book that she was talking about, particularly Black women, we are adjusting sometimes because of the crooked room, the us battling against all these stereotypes, the mammy, the Jezebel, the emasculating sapphire, because of, the Jezebel being the over-sexualized, and the mammy being the non-sexual, subservient, and then the Jezebel. We talked about this many times, about those stereotypes about Black women, because we are constantly battling those type of stereotypes. We are constantly trying to adjust our behavior to that crooked room, in either in fighting against it, whatever those stereotypes we're fighting against, it, trying to not look like that. So our behavior is constantly adjusting to that crooked room. And so it's a great book. Check that out. But anyway, I say that to say this. There are people, but I don't think that's exclusive to I think that trying to adjust to the crooked room is what we all, when we're trying to do something that is out of the norm, we all are trying to figure out a space on how to make our bodies fit or make our circumstances fit in what we're doing. And on 12 Years a Slave, if you remember, Alfre Woodard's character, her and the white man had, based on where they were in the country, based on their circumstances was his white mistress had died. And instead of him remarrying and having another white woman, he just didn't marry again. But what people didn't know is he was in love with his slave. And his slave, not saying that this is not rape, not saying that she was forced in this situation. Even his slave adjusted to the circumstance. Like, oh, I can be the mistress of the house. I ain't gotta be a slave. I ain't gotta pick no cotton. He literally is in love with me, so much so that he's not gonna remarry, and I can just stay in this house and be this house nigger and have nothing to do with my skin color, but she was a dark girl. And I can just play this role and have this beautiful life and not pass for white, but pass for a maid when I'm really not his maid. I'm actually his mistress. And that's why he's not remarrying, because he actually has fallen in love with me, and is somehow through this circumstances is seeing me as a human being enough to want to have me in this house as a kept person. And that's why the other white man was bringing Pansy over to meet her and talk to her because he wanted Pansy to be like her and see how they could cohabitate and see how so Pansy went over there to the house with the girl, and she's seeing this black woman literally living like a fucking mistress with tea, sipping tea in the pretty dress. And Pansy is like, damn. But Pansy's situation is totally different because this white man got a whole white woman that fucking done smacked her in the face with the fucking with the bottle of fucking Jack Daniels or whatever with the whiskey. So she's in a total different situation than them. The reason why he's okay over here is because his wife is dead. And so he can control the circumstances because he's not in a city. He's in the rural. He owns his own land. And most motherfuckers, because he lives in the rural, they not coming to his house, seeing how he is living. So they ain't really bothering him. Where him, it's a whole different scenario over here. And so I think a lot of times we don't talk enough about people who were trying to do, who was trying to create a life that they wanted outside of what the rules of society was. Hey, Vane. Does that make sense? Am I talking too much? Y'all got quiet. But yeah, it's like we don't talk enough about them adjusting. And the part, I remember this book called do I have it over there? No, where is it? Is it in a room? So it's a book called Jubilee by Margaret Walker Alexander. And it is about this slave named Veery. And if y'all like to read books, check it out. It was a book that I read when I think I was 19. Because she was from Jackson, the writer, Margaret Walker Alexander, I think she was from Jackson. I don't know. I think she was. We were allowed to read it. It was a part of our curriculum at school at Jackson State. And I read it, and it just gave me a whole different thing about house niggas. Like, growing up in I don't want to say particularly woke family, not woke, but woke enough to be proud to be Black and have and to be teaching me some narratives that were bucking up against the normal narrative. Woke enough in that sense, but not totally woke. They was, very colorist and shit like that. But to buck up against the master narrative. And we were talking about house Negroes and niggas. And so I always thought about, I always thought that that being in the house, like, that was a privilege and almost like you were on vacation. Like, the way it was sold when I was young, and because I didn't have the political and social nuances of how, life works or whatever, I always thought that, when you were in the house as a slave, it was, it was a privilege to be in the house, and it was good because you were working from da-da-da in the field. But what this book showed me, it's not that it was a cakewalk, because you are in more proximity to being in the house with them. You are more exposed to you're not exposed to that type of work, but you are more exposed to them and their interpersonal harm. Because Veery, when she was young, they knew nobody talked about it, but they knew that this was the white man's daughter. This slave was his daughter because she looks just like his real daughter. Both of them were real daughter, but she looks just like his white daughter. But just, they knew she was a slave. They knew that she was from the slave, but didn't nobody talk about it. And he protected her because he knew that she was a slave. And he was partially in love with her mother. And then in the book, when he's talking to his son who is going to inherit his land, when he talked about it really explained the culture of what they were passing down to their sons. Over here in Syracuse, yes. He was talking to his son. He was like, your wife, your white wife, your white one, the white one, she is your Christian wife. She is holy. She is good. She is, you just have sex with her to procreate. That's sex that is ordained by God. It's the good, holy sex because y'all are married. That's what married people do. And you do regular sex with her because she is your white Christian, holy given wife. Okay, so it puts her on the white woman on a pedestal. He says, but if you want to do nasty gutter bucket, nasty sex, and the nasty kind of unholy kind of sex, you do that with your slaves. And this was what's happening in the book. And he was saying that because that's what we have them for. And he started talking about a story about Viri's mother and how she was so beautiful and regal. Like, it was something about her that just was beautiful and regal, and he just fell in love with her. She was his favorite. She was the one that he wanted, that he never could sell. He never could sell her. He never would give her away. Even though his wife wanted her, he never could give her away because that is my favorite slave. Nobody is going to have her. She is who I love. What is the book title again? It is called Jubilee by Margaret Walker Alexander. And when they were having the conversation, now he's having a conversation with his wife. Now, when I read this as a late teen, it all made sense because you can't tell me. It's like when you trying to fuck a nigga on the low. It's like when you trying to fuck a dude, and initially when y'all hooking up, there's a humanity that happens in our behavior. You can't tell me that it may start or they not on your level, that you're not gonna have fine. Look how these white motherfuckers be treating dogs. They don't have to have. They be caring about shit. And there's a cognitive dissonance that happened. Yes, they may not think you on their level, but they can care. And through this whole video, not this whole video, I'm sorry, this whole book, it is him, even though he's a slave master, and it's not making it seem like he's good, like he's a white savior. No, that's not what they were given. What they were given was, in the way that he could, he was trying to show that he cared, but in a way that still matched with the culture around him. You see what I'm saying? He didn't want to sell his daughter, the slave girl, from the slave that was his favorite slave. He didn't want to sell either one of them. So there was a black woman who was one of the best cooks in their county, and so she was the maid. He wanted to teach Viri, his slave daughter. Didn't nobody talk about it and say that, but he knew that was his daughter. He wanted to teach Viri how to cook. So he brought Viri in with a dark-skinned slave woman. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, it was house niggas that was dark too, because of their skill. You know what I'm saying? Because of either their skill in the kitchen, skill in blacksmithing. It could be various things. It wasn't just their skin that gave you access to being a house nigga, because there was dark-skinned house niggas too. Especially if they were good at something, good at washing, good at cooking, good at da-da-da. Yes, this light-skinned bitch can't cook, so we ain't gonna have her in the fucking house. We'd rather have the dark-skinned girl who can cook. Or she's light-skinned and look more clean, quote unquote, and so we're trying to get her to the point where which is what was happening with Viri. He was trying to get her to the point where she knew how to cook like her, so this lady was getting old, so she's gonna eventually die. So let's try to, just so, because I know this in my mind that this is my daughter, I want to get her in the house so she can be close and I don't have to sell her. And this always happening in the book. And so what that did was that put Viri in the house in proximity to the white woman mistress who culturally thinks that she is the holy wife, the whole, because this is what they have been raised and taught in. She is the holy, kind of sounds like Alex Haley Queen. Yes, this is a whole different circumstance, but that is around that narrative. It's one of those similar narratives. I'm just giving y'all general. There's other things that went on. And so because she was in proximity to this white mistress who knew that her husband was fucking the slave girl, and you are the product of that. This woman used to beat her. Like when she was 7 years old, she hung her in a fucking closet for 24 hours overnight. Hung her in a closet at 7 years old because she hated the little girl, because she knew the product, she was the product of her husband's lust of this slave girl. And so how she responded to, she was, and if Viri was out in the the slave quarters or whatever, she wouldn't have proximity to her to be able to harm her. But because she was in the house with this mistress who hated her because she knew that she was her husband's daughter, she terrorized her for years. And even when her husband didn't want to get her beat, when her husband would leave, she would have the overseers beat the shit out of her for whatever small thing that she did. And so it gave me a different nuance of how Black people of all were, there could be circumstances where it didn't matter whether you were light or white, light or dark. You still can, whiteness, if they saw you as Black, it was wearing you out. Yes, and this not to undermine colorism, because we know that if you were darker, you didn't even have any chance to be in the house, in the sense of unless you had a skill that they can benefit from. Whether you can play the fiddle, you know what I'm saying? If you dark skinned and you ain't got no skill, bitch, you out in the field. Fuck out of here. Yes. So I brought all of that up to say there I love movies that tell a different kind of story, or give you nuances into stories that were being told, because in people's diaries, in people's um things that are written that they may not knew that was going to be written, that was saved, those are the things that tell us stories in different nuance and relationship, instead of general idea of what was happening in the world during that time. And I think that these kind of stories, like Passing, kind of shine light into those kind of nuances of relationships, when Claire was dancing with the Black folks, and then the white man bringing his wife down to dance with the Black man, and he know that she's turned on by the Black man. And they're talking about, when they're talking about the dark-skinned guy being the most beautiful dark-skinned man, and then Renee is like, to us, he ain't really he's not the attractive one, but y'all like him because he's the darkest one out of all of us, and so y'all think he got that big old dick, y'all think that those type of nuances, I think is so sickening, because that is true. We always had, Black people, we have always had our not saying that it's not affected by the white supremacist beauty ideal, but even when we talk about body types, yes, we have always, Black men and women have always had a different type of body that we found attractive. Even when we were comparing it to the white Eurocentric standard, you could always be have thick thighs and big old butt. In our culture, that was sexy to us, even when it wasn't in fashion. He was turned on by watching her dance. Was right. There was an eroticism to that to that coupling. It even to him as a man, not just her. And that's that whole cuckold, like my husband let me get the BBC and that kind of shit. We see that in the porn culture nowadays. We know that was happening because we're more free and we're seeing more porn. And it's free to record it. It's not illegal and da da da. So we get to see people's fantasies play out when it comes to race play and shit like that. So you know that shit was happening in the 20s and in the 1800s and all that kind of stuff. You know that shit was happening back then because they had more power for you to force you into playing in that role. And then if you just like them being tempted to pass, tempted to fulfill white fantasies, if it give you some type of money, if it gives you some type of status, that was a part of it too. That was a part of playing the role. You think niggas wasn't out here fucking with motherfuckers to have money and status? Look at what's that documentary about? God, what was that called? I think it was Zora Neale Hurston. She was a reporter, and there was a girl who was a white dude who killed. Did she kill him? No, she killed him. Um, a black girl was fucking one of the popular doctors in town, and she ended up killing him because she was trying to end the relationship, and he was like no. And what the fuck is that documentary? Was it in Florida? I can't remember, y'all. I think it's like, I don't know. It's a documentary about it. But she was, you know what I'm saying? She had killed him because he wanted the relationship to continue and she didn't want to because she was married and da 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 da, and she had ended up shooting him. And so yeah, so there's these relationships were happening behind closed doors, honey, because we know, even as trans people, we know how the mask works, the mask of society, and how what motherfuckers is telling the world is not what they're doing in their real lives. Most of us, if trans women particularly, most of us have had, I don't know if I say most, but the most of the ones I know have had men in love with us, and have whole wives and whole da da da, and they're in love with us, willing to pay for surgeries, willing to help us, willing to like literally do anything to stay on our good side when it comes to having access to us and having access to our bodies and not just our bodies, like really spending time with us and spending serious, but they have no intention of coming out of the closet, or not that it's a closet, but coming out and being open about being trans attracted. But how they have set up their life is they want to keep you. What is the Whitney Houston song? Saving all my love for you. You used to tell me we'll run away together. What gives you the right to be free? You said be patient and wait a little longer, but that's just an old fantasy. Yes, that song where that whole classic number is like, I'm not leaving my wife, but I want you, waiting to exhale. I want you, but I want to keep you in this realm because I don't like my wife the way I like you. I can see that happening many times. I can see that happening. We don't have enough storytelling in that with that kind of nuance. It seems like dark skinned boys were always depicted as mischievous. Yes. Saving all my love for you. Yes. Yeah, it's there's not enough nuance for me where I know it exists. And so I love this movie because it gave that kind of that nuance that was happening within Claire and that was happening within Irene, and even more now that y'all tell me that there was some bulldagging happening. That's a whole different thing, and just the nuance of people coming to Harlem to play out their fantasies, to play out what was happening in, you get what I'm saying, to be free from the mainstream culture and come down to Harlem where we can have a little colored fun and be turned on and da 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 da, even though we know where we stand in the culture. But yes, darlings, make sure y'all check out Passing and come back to the video and tell me what y'all think. We have been on here for almost 3 hours, child. So yeah, so we have about 8 minutes. Y'all want to tell me what y'all thought about the movie? What did y'all like? What y'all didn't like? Or anything like that before I go? The game was fine. You didn't discuss the best part. I didn't want. Are we talking about the end? I didn't want to discuss the end to ruin it for people. What was the best part? What did you think that part? What was the? Yeah, no, no, no. I didn't want to discuss the end. I didn't want to discuss the end because I didn't want to ruin people as far as spoilers. So there is a great ending in the movie. Um, it's really really good. So make sure y'all check it out. I just wanted to kind of discuss the surface level. I purposely didn't discuss the ending. But when y'all go watch it, come back and tell me what y'all thought about the ending. Yeah, that was a good part. I just didn't want to discuss it. Yes, watch it. Watch it, see it. It's really, really good. I enjoy it. I'm gonna watch it again too because I didn't clock that they weren't together. I didn't clock that they weren't married. I thought that, well, each other, well, they were married, but I didn't clock that he was her beard. I didn't get why she thought her man was liking her. Yeah, but she was giving off that vibe. And so if they both was each other's beard, I don't understand why that didn't make sense. Of course, I don't know. It just, I don't know. I have to, but if that was what was happening in the book and they left it out, I can see why we were picking up on that. I'm getting ready to watch it now. Yes, check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. What else? What do I got going on? What do I got going on? Monday, I will be speaking for the University of San Diego. Um, yeah, I will be speaking for the University of San Diego. I don't think the husband was aware he was the beard. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. That's why she was okay with him talking to her. Gotcha. But she started to act weird, like she wasn't okay with it. But definitely watch. But yes, I will be speaking this Monday um, with University of San Diego. I have a workshop to do with them. Me and Tuck Woodstock. I think that's his last name. I can't remember. He is the host of Gender Reveal podcast. I will be doing a panel with Brianna Jenkins of Box 5112, formerly of Box. They broke up, so they are going their separate ways. and Princess. I've had her on the show, Princess Zay, where we are going to talk about podcasting and using online to share narratives and stuff like that. So that is going to be good. What else? But that's about it. We will be back. Marsha's Plate will be back. If you listen to the podcast, we will be back on Thursday. Yes, God Talk Black Millennial Faith Conversation. Yes, check that out. It is. I did some work with the Smithsonian, an African American Museum of His History Museum, or something like that. I don't know the words, but it's the Smithsonian. And we had a conversation. Brandon just linked it. Y'all can go check that out. Um, it's an amazing conversation about God, being a millennial, and faith. And you know how things are shifting in the culture when it comes to God and faith. Make sure if y'all watch and listen to it, get in them comments and respond and say something and let them know that I sent you there. Um, always do that because it just lets people know that y'all are listening and watching. And the trio, yes, we have, Mia's surgeries are done. She got BBL, so she's looking good. So she's going to talk about that. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about yet. Um, I talked last night. It was really, really good. Thank you for watching it. Make sure y'all comment and tag me, tag Diamond Style, so I can know that y'all are listening and what y'all thought about it. Um, and tag me in the comments. Um, mm, but yeah, what else? What else do I got going on? I will be in DC at the end of the month. I come there on December the 30th through the 5th. I will be at a conference about politics. Um, so so I will be busy, but not too busy. And I love DC. I haven't been to DC in a minute. So that's gonna be exciting. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. What else? What else? I'm trying to think of what else is going on. That is about it. Oh, Afro and audio. If you're thinking about being a podcaster or thinking about getting into podcast, there's a festival going on this weekend called Afros and Audio. Um, that y'all can check out. I hope to meet you here in DC. If you're going to the conference, you definitely will see me there. I don't know the name of the conference, child. Don't I'm going for work. I'm not going because I want to be there because I don't really like politicians, but I got to be in the room. So I'm going for work. So yeah, I'll be there working, but yeah. But all right, y'all. I will see y'all next Friday, or if I just hop on whenever I feel the need to hop on. But I will see y'all next Friday. I love y'all. Make sure y'all thumbs up. It is if you haven't thumbs up, make sure you thumbs up. And yeah, I will see y'all next week. Bye.